Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Ricky with Learn Plan Profit. Hope that you guys are all having an amazing day. Um, I've been messing up so much today when it comes down to my positions. I don't know if I'm gonna like step away. I'm down I think $300 on Gush. I'll show you guys that in just a bit. I want to apologize for the delayed upload. I'm about 45 minutes late. I'm here in California, as you guys know. I could only imagine how poor the stream quality is. I was on the phone with my cell phone provider, adding internet hotspot because the Wi-Fi is even so much worse here at my parents' house. So I do want to apologize for that. I at least wanted to go live and talk to you and answer any questions that you guys might have. I've been doing very poorly this week when it comes down to my trades. I'm very distracted with kind of what we have planned today, and I think that if I'm not like 100% committed to my trades, then I probably shouldn't be trading. So I know that we had quite a bit of stocks, Shopify, Zillow. And Gush was pushing up yesterday, sold off very aggressively, started to push up again today, and then sold off right away. UGAZ is trying to push up again. The only two that I see that are making ongoing uptrends are Shopify and Zillow. That's SHOP and Z, right? We talked about those within the past 3 weeks. They've been going and making ongoing uptrends and stuff like that. So, yeah. All right, so let's see. Let's go ahead and I'm going to start sharing my screen, and then we can kind of go from there. I don't know if you guys will be able to see. Again, I do apologize 100% for the poor screen quality. We'll see if we can make or do with this specific quality itself. But Gush has just been like very frustrating. It continues to get rejected by every resistance, right? And it's almost like we're forcing the trade, right? We can see that it's been rejected by this SMA indicator nonstop, right? That's why I talked about it. I got very upset with myself right now. That every time that I've been selling almost at the very bottom every single time, it's just like I don't want to ride it as it continues to sell off. And I just again, it's because I know that Gush has been selling off that I'm just like, I really, really, really do not want to ride it as it sells off. I don't want to ride a 5 to 10% loss, right? And every time that it pushes up, it gets rejected by this SMA indicator. I'm just like, okay, well then maybe I should try to capitalize just on this little margin, right? It's a little bit over 1%. Let me try to see what I can do. And still nothing. So we could even try right now. So, and what? I'll probably end up getting rejected. So we'll send in a limit order to buy. We'll go here and we'll go with, what's it called, 700 shares. Let's see. Yeah, my internet's so slow. Again, guys, I do apologize for that. Let's see what we get here. Yeah, and it's like the worst when you're trying to trade with like the worst laptop ever. Um, Still, nothing not getting filled, of course. My order's right there. Will I get filled? Probably not. But let's see. You guys just broke above a certain resistance. All right, I got filled with 300. I'm still waiting on 400. But as we see right here on the 180-day analysis, some of you guys might be asking like, why is Gush even a good deal whatsoever? It's been doing a very good job validating this SMA line as a support. So I had a huge push up and then an aggressive sell off. It has the potential to recover, and due to that potential for recovery, the margin of profit outweighs the margin of loss. It did a really good job selling off to about the low 40s to even the 39s, and it doesn't always have to hit the SMA indicator. It's done this multiple times before, and I am getting in a little bit before the confirmation of the bounce. So that's obviously a form of risk, right, involved with that. But as of right now, I wanted to take the approach of a potential day trade. Although I do see swing trade potential, I think it might be a little bit too early to tell. In all honesty, I see the most value in two specific positions that have been showing an ongoing uptrend. It's been so upsetting that I traded my little sister, as you guys saw, traded Shopify yesterday. She sold at that one right before 160. It pushed up all the way up to 162. Today it made highs, broke above 165, and guys, we've been talking about this specific pattern nonstop, right? Absolutely, this was not a surprise. It's an ongoing uptrend, right? We talked about the resistance that it has at 175 and that it most likely can break that, and it makes sense on why it's doing that. Do I think it's a good buy now? No, I think it's a little bit on the overbought side, and I think it might sell off. But to be able to buy the dip and then sell it, 1 or 2 days later, right, for that 5 to 6% margin of profit, I find that to be very attractive. UGAS is pushing right back up, right below that $58 resistance. Just a friendly reminder, so many people yesterday, and this is why how many of you guys, I want to see if I could answer, how many of you guys have noticed that people were talking about UGAS and the confirmation of the reversal at around the whole point that I'm trying to make is on this 180-day analysis, people thought that I was with one of our members in Learn Plan Profit. His name was Nick, and I met up with him. It sold off, pushed up. It was getting rejected by this EMA indicator, and I had a couple people message me hey, I think UGAS is getting the reversal, confirmation, so it's going to start trending up now. Just because for 1 second it goes above the EMA line does not mean that you have a full-on confirmation. I don't even care that if it goes all the way up above the EMA line. 1 day confirmation does not mean anything. The point that I like to look for something for you guys to do, or for any pattern, is as it pushes up, that when it pulls back, it bounces on the EMA line and then continues to make higher highs. That when it pulls back, it doesn't go as low as it did before. And that is not something that we've experienced yet with you guys. Yes, it is not making lower lows anymore, right? It's doing a pretty good job just consolidating. That's great. But to say and to go into a position that's a full-on swing trade wouldn't make much sense either, right? So that is something that I wanted to make sure that we covered. So if you're planning on investing in UGAS because it's up currently right now, great. I would still treat it as a day trade because the risk is that high. I still think the risk is that high. It's still an active descending pattern. Does that make sense? So I just want to make sure that none of you guys get caught up in the idea that, okay, well, this is about to reverse. Why not just wait, take an extra day or two? And yes, you might miss out on 1 to 2%, but at least you know that you're going to be investing in something that's actively trending up. Just a friendly reminder, right? Now, when it comes down to Gush again struggling to hold above this middle VWAP, and it's struggling to break above this SMA indicator, right? As of right now, again, one of the only ones that I see a lot of uptrend pattern is Shopify, and I still think that as of right now, this is a little bit more on the overbought side. And then the pattern that I talked about that I like very well is ticker symbol Z. My little sister actually ended up taking a position on this one yesterday, and she's currently up. So all she's been focusing on are ongoing uptrends, right? Ongoing uptrends, whatever's actively trending up, and that's it. She's not trading anything when it comes down to UGAS. She's not trading anything when it comes down to Gush. She's just trading whatever's actively trending up. And honestly, if I traded how she was trading yesterday, and it's pretty much and you guys might be asking how is she trading better or more according to your rules than you are, Rick. It's just my thing for her is to make sure that she doesn't make any of the beginner mistakes that I have made before. And because I'm a little bit more well-versed, I tried to be a little bit more risky, and that has led to not huge red days, but a couple $100 red days, right? I had a red day on Tuesday, didn't trade yesterday, and then, I'm red today, 100%. And that is one of the most upsetting parts. It's we have all this structure, and exactly, just like Chris says, she followed the plan, and I am trying to almost force a trade, right? Trying to be a little bit more aggressive when the market conditions aren't necessarily there. I'm trying to get in before the confirmation. I'm trying to, that's the biggest thing. I'm trying to get in before the confirmation, or I'm trying to invest in a specific ticker just because I've been successful with it before, when there's obvious other tickers such as SHOP and Z that are ongoing uptrend. They're probably just not going to be they're not going to be profitable right away, but they are most likely going to continue to uptrend. So because of that, I need to do a better job, especially as I'm traveling, to make sure that I'm investing in something that's less risky, that maybe can accommodate my, lifestyle as of right now. That's a little bit slower moving, but that's progressively moving up. It kind of makes sense, right? But again, I was not doing that. I was trying to be aggressive. I was trying to pretend like I was still on my, MacBook back at home. Or iMac, and continue to trade. So you're taking more risk, which can lead to greater reward. She's playing it safe 100%, but I just want to make sure that just because the whole point of me sharing that is so you guys understand that just because I take higher risk does not mean that you guys have to as well. And I hope that you guys know that. Yep, I agree. All right, so I'm pretty much done breaking down the stocks that, what's it called? Done breaking down the stocks that I see value in as of right now, right? Anything that you guys want to call out, I'm all for breaking down, and then we can kind of go from there. All right. Got a nice little push up. Wow, that was super quick. There we go. Ah, there we go. So that SMA line, do you guys see that SMA line as a resistance? I'm struggling. There we go, resistance broken. All right, and there's a pretty solid resistance at the 410 price point, or 4110, if you guys could see that. Um, see where this goes. The thing is like there's an obvious sign of a resistance. So one of two things is most likely going to happen, and it's probably going to sell off, right, and then continue to consolidate and push up, or it's going to push up, break the resistance, and continue to uptrend to most likely that top view up. So, yeah. So we're getting a nice consolidation. There's a lot of consolidation of it holding above here. What do you guys think? Yep, Eric, that's exactly what I was thinking about, selling and then buying back at the break. The thing that happens is, okay, there's a natural gas report that was just sent out, right? Whoa. Yeah, that definitely went to degas, but watch for that recovery. There we go. Had a really nice push up, had a really nice sell off, and then here comes a recovery. UGAS is the one that's being bullish today, so this one makes sense on why it's going to begin to recover. So great call out. Let's see if it catches on this EMA line. I'm surprised my live stream, they said I didn't have that much time for it. Hold on, you guys, okay. There it goes, right back up. I think the US definitely has the potential to continue to recover. It's just the natural gas report, and then it goes back to its thing. We saw this last week, and we saw this the week prior. Yep, 100%, Randall. SMA is definitely acting as a resistance. All right, so it looks like a couple of people are talking about USLV and DSLV. Based on my understanding, USLV was the one that is showing signs of an ongoing uptrend, correct? Or no, so USLV is actually the one that's continuing to descend. It's the one that's pushing up today, but it's because DSLV. Yeah, so this is the one that's a little bit definitely more in the over. So this is kind of like the gush, right? This is like gush, and the other one is drip. I think that's the easiest way to put it. As of right now, it's definitely it's pushed up, it's selling off. It's still showing signs of an uptrend. It's still above the EMA line, so even if it does sell off, just watch out for the potential support. You could see this with USLV. USLV is a very active descending pattern, and you can see that it's trying to push up, but again, multiple times it gets rejected, right, by this EMA line. So as it pushes up, just know that. I'm going to leave you guys with this. Where's it at? Wow. And there it goes, selling off once again. Let's see. But one of the last things that I wanted to talk about, so huge sell-off on you guys. Well, look at you guys. Okay, so it looked, wow, you guys broke below $57. But very quick thing that I wanted to talk about is that when it comes down to the patterns of what's it called, of these specific stocks that we're trading, I want to make sure that you guys, so Gush is still making higher lows intraday, yeah. So I want to make sure that we cover the idea that, so that's my French language, yeah, it's rolling, okay. I'm trying to keep an eye and then talk at the same time. But the overall concept that I wanted to talk about was that how do I put this? I forgot my train of thought, my goodness. Yeah, it wasn't a very big sell-off. Okay, all right. So, because I got asked the question yesterday about the ticker symbol DRIP, right? Gush is the one that's been actively trending up. DRIP has been the descending pattern, kind of very similar to something like USLV and DSLV. USLV is the one that continues to make lower lows. DSLV is the one that's overbought, such as Gush as well. But Gush is the one that continues to make and show signs of an uptrend. The thing that I wanted to talk about is the idea that if you're up intraday on something like DRIP or in something like USLV, you have to understand the overall direction of whatever it is that you're investing in. And as long as you know that whatever you're investing in is an ongoing uptrend, then you know that you don't that it makes sense on why you should only maybe just day trade it. That's the approach that I would take. If something continues to make lower lows, and yes, it is reversing intraday and it has some margin to cover, the overall opportunity cost for it to just what I just want to instill in our traders is that if something is continuously making lower lows, then it's probably not going to be the best swing trade. And although it is, showing signs of recovery, in my honest opinion, it makes much more sense to lock in profits every single day at the end of the day and then always get back in. Something like when it came down to DRIP today, right? You were still you were able to sell at a certain point and you were able to get back in today and still be able to trade it successfully. There are a couple people that think that when you are investing in something that's descending and it's reversing back up, that you want to swing trade it maybe for a couple days or for a longer period of time than just one day. And I just want to make sure that we cover the idea. I know we've covered it in the course already, but how important it is to understand the overall direction of what it is that you're investing in. And although it might look like a good day trade or maybe a short-term swing trade, if something is progressively descending, then have the idea in mind that it might not be the best swing trade due to the ongoing descending pattern. That's all I wanted to leave you guys with, just because I know a lot of the stocks that we are trading that are very overbought are pulling back, but I don't want that to be a reason that you choose to take a swing trade position on the inverse ETFs that are ongoing descending patterns. We tend to, when it comes down to Gush, when it comes down to, DSLV, we tend to focus on the ones that are progressively, showing signs of an uptrend. And I just want to make sure that we don't stray away from that. Although it is showing signs of a potential reversal, the reversal based on previous patterns doesn't last for a very long time. So as long as you could see that, then holding the position really wouldn't make so don't take unnecessary risks. You guys say it much better than than I do. So I want to thank you guys again for your time. If there's anything that I can do to better assist you, please feel free to let me know. I'm going to be on Discord responding to messages as of right now, and then we can kind of go from there. Yeah, if you guys have any questions, feel free to let me know. I'm sorry for the poor quality stream just due to the hotspot and stuff like that. So, but definitely we'll be back at it next week, right? Starting off on Monday. So appreciate your guys' time, and like always, let's make sure that we end the year on a green note. Take it easy, team.